Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be touring my Willow Creek save file. I wanted to go ahead and do this first because I'm going to be doing a playthrough of a story. This is going to be my forever save, and I want to share this with you guys. The first area that I worked on would be Foundry Cove, which is over here. I did have a map replacement put in for, I believe the creator is Mama Llama, and I really like her maps, but I've only done one world so far, and the inspiration for this was kind of like a small town. I wanted to give it like Life is Strange meets, I'm trying to think of an inspiration, but basically I'll put some photos up from Pinterest of what I was thinking and based off of other people's videos that I've seen. So let's go ahead and start with Foundry Cove over here. This is where I'm going to be doing most of my play. So to begin, we have several different areas here, and if you can notice already, this kind of looks different from the normal. So I put in a reshade I made myself. I wanted to give it more yellow tones and make it look a little grungy. It's a bit darker, a little bit more grungy. The colors are a little bit more vibrant, but it is based on the time of day. I believe this is morning. This is what morning looks like. And then high noon is not great. It looks a lot like this. But I just wanted to, I know that for most of high noon, we're going to be inside for most of the playthrough, so it didn't matter to me. And then nighttime looks like this. And I think it's really pretty because the reshade that I created makes the sun look really warm. And then nighttime, and back here again. So to start off, we're at the Shabby Creek Cabana, and this is what it looks like in its entirety. This is where my forever save file is going to start with a family. It's going to be with a older sister and a younger sister living here, and basically they inherited the house. You can tell it's not been very well taken care of. There's garbage everywhere. There's a trailer over here that doesn't get used much. I really like this build. It is on the gallery. I didn't build any of these buildings, by the way. I just found them in the gallery. And a good tip for looking for buildings, if you want a similar vibe, is to look up the original names of the plots, and you'll find stuff that's made exactly for the plots, which is good. I usually went by sizing of the plots beforehand, so this is 20 by 15, and then tried to find something that would fit this plot. However, I just started looking by the names of the plots. Now, this isn't the original name, this is part of the plot itself, but let's get into it. The outside, it looks very dingy, not very well taken care of, as you can see. And the background, or the back of the house, has a little fire pit. I don't think it's really accessible. I think it's just for decoration, but I haven't play tested this build yet. I haven't play tested any of the builds, so we'll see how it goes. And then to start off here, this is going to be the older sister's bedroom. Hers is messy, of course. They're gonna have a lot of issues. Because they're growing up by themselves. The older sister's raising the younger sister, and she's juggling like a part-time job, maybe some school, I don't know yet, but I wanted her personality to really shine through. This build really fit the vibe. I think originally it was supposed to be for a musician, a lonely musician, but I think this fits pretty perfectly, actually. It's just cluttered, and there's clothes on the floor, and it looks a little dingy, and then the walls have posters and notes and things like that, and string lights. So I was very excited about this build. And then if we go downstairs, I modified the downstairs of this build so that the younger sister would have a place to sleep. I found this really cute bed with these little Halloween characters on them and aliens and stuff, and there's toys underneath the bed, which I thought was pretty fitting. There's a backpack that I put in, and as you can see over here, there's a TV, there's some books. Again, it's very not well taken care of. I don't think either sibling is clean, really. The bathroom looks like the only place that really does look clean at all. And then the kitchen is really pretty. I just love this build. I think everything in this is so realistic. There's pizza boxes. I'd like to think that these newspapers here are preventing leakage from the refrigerator, because they definitely need a new fridge. There's cans and dirty dishes and things like that. I really think that this first build is where the story is going to happen, and I'm not going to really go into the history of why I think these builds are going to fit into the save file. I am just going to kind of show you guys the street in general. This area over here is just, I'd like to think, a demolition area. Not a demolition area per se, but an abandoned house. I use the tool mod and Better Build and Buy to decorate this street in general. I put the cars down. I put more plants on the side areas here and some electrical wires, even though they don't really follow through and go all the way around. But this area here just is, if you can see over here, broken down husk of a car, and it's closed off, and I put some gate around there. And then the other house over here is gonna have a family living here. So this is a better view of everything before I go deep into this lot here. As you can see here, there's these 3 shotgun houses. They go backward. If I'm correct, they're pretty common in Mississippi. The attention to detail here, I just found this is one big plot, but they're individually rented out. They're not empty. I did decorate somewhat, redecorate, because they were already decorated, but I wanted to add more to them. And then as you can see, there's garbage over here. I just wanted the street to look really run down and lived in, essentially. These each are decorated for the respective families I'm going to be putting in there. Anyway, this is the other plot that I decorated, which is going to be another central family to the storyline. It's got 2 cars, a little garage, a backyard pool. They're a little bit more stable than my main family is gonna be. As you can see here, it's pretty lived in. I wanted it to also be a little bit dingy. These are gonna be more of a rundown neighborhood where it's very old and everything is lived in, and these houses have been up for forever and are due for a remodel, essentially. And I like the little details of the satellites on top of the houses, because I think that's really cool. Yeah, and then this is built for like a family of 4, and you can see the toys and everything scattered around everywhere. And so I was really excited to find this one as well. And then if we go zoom out a little bit, there's another house over here. So you can see that this one's a little bit better than both of these houses combined. I'd like to think this one is a little bit newer than the other houses. And then there's a park over here. It's got a little pond. I thought that people of this community deserved something fun in here, considering the situation of the neighborhood. But this makes up all of Foundry Cove. Very small town aesthetic. That's the whole thing I wanted to go for in this save file, is that it was a small town and everything is really run down. So I'm not going to go through all of the houses. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what it looks like as a whole. I was just showing you this house over here and this house over here because they'll be central to the storyline. And I'm really proud of all the characters I've made. I kind of want to shuffle through each family during the save file, but we'll see how it goes. But I didn't do, some people will do the wipe the entire map or start with a completely clean map. I found a blank save file and just added buildings and the tool mod into it. Crawdad Quarter is the next area we'll be looking at. I really wanted to make this the area of all the entertainment, and I feel like in small towns there's like one section, I used to live in one, there's like one section of the town where everything is small and it's just the one area of entertainment. So pulling into Crawdad Quarter, this looks a little bit more lit up and bright and happy. Nighttime, where I feel like most of the activity for these is gonna happen. To start off, I have a diner here. Every small town needs a good diner. It's very 50s inspired in there, and I was thinking of Life is Strange because they always go to the, is it Two Whales, I believe? So I wanted to incorporate a diner for hangout purposes as something to do and a place to go get food, because there's not gonna be any other places to get food in this town, any fast food places. So this is going to be the spot to be. This next one is a movie theater. I thought one of these was deserved. So I thought this was very cute, very fun. Definitely it's got a little concession stand area over here. And then there's an upstairs with bathrooms and I think a little upstairs bar area. All in all, I think it's really cute. It's got the little posters of the different movies that they're going to be playing. Moving on over here. Oh, yeah, I guess there's one other place to get food here. So this is a bar. It's got a little private area in the back over here. As you can see, I'm not going to get into the details of each building I have placed down, but for purposes of the story, this is going to be just a fun rundown bar. Another thing that I think small towns always have. The place to be on a Saturday night if you're over 21. But this one's kind of fun. I think it looks a little dirty and dingy inside. It's perfect for the vibe I'm going for. And then there's a motel. This is like a for rent per night kind of deal. It's also very dirty and dingy. I think all these builds, like there's garbage right here. Yeah, I just wanted this to be the strip of entertainment activities. So you can get your bar food and drinks over here and little diner area for people to go to. And that's kind of the vibe I wanted to go for. I feel like if I really wanted to expand this and make it look more real, I could take out all the plants, but that was a lot of work and I'm just doing this for the purpose of the save file. So I haven't renamed all of these builds. I kind of wanted to keep them as they were when they're implemented. This one's the only one I think I didn't rename because it's not Willow Creek Archive, it is a motel. Moving on, we have a cemetery over here. I'll save that for last since it's standing by itself, but over here we have Courtyard Lane. After I got past Foundry Cove and Crawdad Quarter, I started running out of ideas for plots. There is a park over here. I might switch this around and make it a little bit more lived in, a little bit more used, but I pulled that one from the gallery. I wanted there to be two neighborhoods that definitely look like they're being well taken care of. This is one of my favorite shotgun houses that I found. There's a little garden area here on the side, and if you go into the back area, there is a patio and there's a little gate that's open. And I just think this is really cute. It's like a little grandma house. Like it looks like somebody's grandma lives here. I like to think that it's a really sweet grandma, a really nice aunt of some sort, like two aunts live here. This one over here is also one of my favorite houses. It's got a really lovely little garden, and then I put another little house over here. And this one's just kind of like one garage, again another shotgun house, and then we have one over here. It's a family plot. I believe it is supposed to be for a father and two sons, or a single mother and two sons, but I am not sure, and that was just what was on the description. So that's pretty much my Courtyard Lane area. Moving on, we're going to go to Pendula View. This again was one of the places that I was not really sure how to decorate essentially, so I put just kind of anything down. Another entertainment center, but it's really boring on purpose because it's a small town, and I'm not saying that small towns can't be interesting. This is overtaken by trees. Did this on purpose because I wanted the lot to be filled out. I thought it was a really cute, very small museum that I found on the gallery. And I wanted it purposely to be small because I feel like this save file city does not have a lot going on. It's just a really small, dinky little museum with not a lot to do. So I did want to show, I always show two builds of one street. So I thought I would go over here. This over here is a library. Here we have a church, a rundown church. I think it's supposed to be an abandoned church, but it's got a little secret to it. I don't know if I'll be using it in my save file, but I did want a little sneak peek of something cool in my save file. Like there's definitely not like a lot going on in here since nobody's gonna be going in here. But it's an abandoned church. It's got a little cemetery area, but if you go downstairs, whoa, there is some interesting little things going on in here. Definitely, I don't think I'll be using this in my save file whatsoever. I do think it is an interesting addition to this abandoned church. And then over here we have a veterinary office. Again, it's really small. There's not really a lot going on over here. Weird place to put the veterinary office in adjacent to the church, the rundown church, but I figured it would be filling of the area. But the inside of this I'll show in another video. It is very cool and cute in there. And then there's just a random park over here, which I wish I could do something with, but I don't really want to spend the extra time to do. So okay, so this is Sage Estates. For this one I just kind of wanted to do, it's just apartment buildings and one really beautiful family house where I think because it's got 5 bedrooms. I think the richest family is going to be living here. So again, this is just apartment buildings. I wanted one section to only be living, but it was big enough to host a bunch of people at one time, so a bunch of different characters I'll be adding. There's another section over here, which is that big family house that I'm going to show here in a little bit. So I believe this is the first one. It is just built for, I think, a couple people. Got a pool table. So this is probably one of the better ones that is in this save file. We've got some cool little lots here. This one's one of the better ones. It looks like the apartment building has access to a playground and a pool. These haven't been decorated yet. They're a little cafe sitting area for people. And then there is a boiler room back there, some vending machines, and then the washer and dryer area. Alright, so as you can see, this is the other area. There's the apartment buildings. This is going to be the family house where the rich family lives. As you can see, there's a lot of activities to do in the backyard. There's even an elevated patio area. It's very nice and chic in here. There is a lot of space, and then as you can see, there's plenty of bedrooms, and I'm probably gonna have the family who lives here be pretty big. They have their own potty training area bathroom for their children. That's how rich they are. They can afford this space. This is what this house looks like. As you can see, I also put some big trees in here for some shade. Like I said, wanted to have a ton of trees in this. There are no trees in the parking lot area of this apartment section because I wanted it to feel open, and when the heat, like my whole vision was that when it's in the direct sunlight, it's always super hot over here. The last thing I'm going to show you, as it's properly titled, is the New Orleans Cemetery. I don't really envision this as any part of New Orleans, but it is somewhere. It's just a small town. Just a small town. I don't know. That's the vibe. Just grunge, rundown, not a lot going on. This is a beautiful build. Of course, there's a ton of trees. I actually didn't put these down here. They came with the build. I did want a cemetery, and I wanted it to be pretty great. Yes, it is. I think I said earlier I didn't want it, like, the build to be anywhere in New Orleans, but I did like this cemetery that obviously is a call to New Orleans. I think it's beautiful. There's little portraits within the graves, the little mausoleums, and of course I love the little details. Like, people can come here to play chess and leave offerings, and I think over here you can kind of see there's trophies and things over here. It looks like this person was a musician, but there's so much to look at in this specific lot. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's a little downstairs area. Okay, I didn't know this was here. This is such a cool addition. So this looks really cool. I'm assuming this is like ritual for the magic pack, or sorry, the supernatural pack that they have going on. But as you can see, there's all kinds of little details here. Of course, we have our little ritual circle. And again, with the stained glass, I absolutely love stained glass. I think this is really pretty. Really pretty. And these, I have to find who built this. And then, oh wow. These are all these urns. This is gorgeous. I really only wanted to share with you guys the buildings I definitely would be using during my save file. Or necessarily, like, I really only wanted to share the buildings that I would be using quite consistently when playing the game. However, now going over each of them with you, I will be using them probably more often, and you'll see that through my playthroughs. Yeah, I think this is going to be really fun. I think you guys should stick around because I feel like the storyline is going to be very exhilarating. Thank you guys for stopping by and touring my save file of Willow Creek with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.